Alrighty, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. Sorry, just getting my glasses really quick. I pulled them off to clean them and realized I didn't have them on. And then they're glasses that I use they're they're the anti-glare glasses. So if you ever see me wearing glasses, I wear two types of glasses: readers, because if anything's within a 2-foot radius of me, I have a hard time seeing. And then obviously I wear anti-reflective glasses. This way I don't get a headache all day from staring at all these screens. And you probably do something similar. Anyway, hey, so the dollar is getting a little bit of a boost. And let's talk about things that are moving right now. First and foremost, gold. You guys should be getting your updates via ForexAnalytix. If you're looking here at the live stream and the pop-ups and the, whatnots, the alerts that are coming through. So gold's, this head and shoulder pattern. So you can see gold actually points right now to 1800. And so there's some knock-on effects here. So I want you to pay a little bit of attention to. So you got your, gold that could make a move for, sorry, I was just looking at something really quick. Gold that could make a move for like the 1810 level. And, there's a lot of support down there. So it's not like we're expecting a big move. But it's weighing a little bit on assets like Bitcoin, which now you have to be, if anybody's long Bitcoin, you're probably thinking, okay, let's be careful that if there's a double top. And how I measure this is when or if, I should say if we break back below this trend line, then this becomes a double top. Then you can do your extensions from there. But that's what I'd be looking at as a neckline for right now. Currently, I see it as a triangle. But if we break back below these trend lines, especially like this one here and that one there, then it turns into a double top. Okay, so just something to think about. Also, crude oil is under some pressure. So take a look at crude. Crude was kind of leading the move lower this morning. Here's your hourly chart. Now, I would be concerned with crude if it breaks below this horizontal support. And that's what's going to carry some other currencies like the dollar Canadian, which is already, already moving higher. And we're right off of the highs of the session. But if the dollar Canadian breaks this 127.20 level, I know the ForexAnalytix Twitter account just tweeted that out. But if it breaks above 127.20, we're talking about a move back towards 127.85 maybe. Dollar Mexican peso is trying to find some support down here after coming pretty close to the 618 retracement. Other emerging market currencies like the rand, which I picked up a little bit earlier this morning, about 130 pips ago. But I mean, it's not very far. For this, it's more like 5 pips in the euro. It's not very far. But I picked up the dollar rand a little earlier as we hit new lows. I really would like to see it break back above 1475. 76, and then I can move my stops to break even, and hopefully it'll make a run for 15 again. That's what I like to do as far as getting a currency pair moving is just once it gets moving in my favor and in my direction, then trying to get stops up to break even as quickly as possible. But gold's really the asset that's weighing on the market the most right now. Taking a look at the S&P is challenging a little bit of support here, but again, really critical support is at 38.70. And I have to reiterate, markets are not bearish right now. We're seeing a little bit of a pullback. This pullback is probably better to be bought than sold, but you're starting to see other things move, whether it's the dollar, whether it's some of these cross rates. I mean, you know, like you got the Euro Aussie that's, you know, not making a new low yet. It's kind of holding the 88% retracement. Pound Aussie and Pound New Zealand have been heavy. You know, and you can see the Pound Aussie is challenging some horizontal support here. But, you know, they really need to turn higher in order for me to think, oh, you know, maybe we're going to see a little bit more selling in the market. NASDAQ's holding up pretty well. You know, if you look at the NASDAQ, it's still positive on the day. We are making lower highs, which needs to be, you know, recognized. But I'm not overly confident, or I'm not confident, let me just put it that way, that we're seeing a turn in risk assets. But I do believe we are seeing some signs that the market's a little tired here. And then also keep in mind, it is Thursday. You know, we get into Friday, you might get some profit taking. It's interesting because we've been down almost every Friday. If you look at the S&P, and let's just take a look at Fridays here really quick. Okay. Now, minus last week because it was non-farm payroll week. So that this is so that was Friday, right? Prior to that, that was Friday. Prior to that, I think that was Friday. Prior to that, that's Friday. Prior to that, I believe that's Friday. And I believe that's Friday. And I believe that's probably about it. But you can see, you know, Fridays, it seems like the market struggles a little bit, I guess is what I'm trying to point out. So just, you know, I think we need to be a little careful as we head into the end of the week, especially if we start taking out some support in the S&P. I think that this megaphone pattern is still worth, you know, keeping an eye on, especially if we break through 3870, and we break through 3870, you're going to see some reversals in these risk assets. I would continue, as I've told you the last, you know, week or so, keep an eye on the Bitcoins of the world, those. I mean, you know, there's a lot of money being poured into not just Bitcoin. You know, let's take a look at let's take a look at Ethereum. ETH, here's Ethereum. You know, Ethereum's super strong here. I guess we can just go this way. You got Ethereum. I mean, Litecoin's been moving. You know, here we are at new highs. What's that? Dogecoin, right? I mean, look at that move. I mean, there's a lot of money poured into these. So if those assets start to move down, that's when you start seeing liquidation of other assets. Excuse me. So that's what I think we should be, you know, paying pretty close attention to. All right, and again, you know, just to reiterate about Bitcoin, there is no reason to be bearish Bitcoin, but there is a little reason that we should be watching it because Bitcoin's pretty technical. It is. I mean, that's a great thing about cryptos right now is the algorithms are not all over the crypto markets, and so you know, double tops and you know, head and shoulder patterns and things like that. They tend to you know, be a little bit more effective right now in the crypto space. That's not always going to be the case, but it is currently, and algorithms are being written daily on these things. So just keep that in mind. All right. Anything else that you guys can, that I can think of for you guys that I'm watching here? You know, one of the currencies, and this is one thing I'm going to leave you with, the US dollar Mexican peso continues to trade really heavy. It traded heavy yesterday. It's trading heavy once again today. And so I'm not going to be convinced that this market even has a remote chance of reversing in some of these risk assets unless you start to see dollar Mexican peso makes some headway. And at this stage in the game, it's really this trend line that comes in around 2002, and then this horizontal resistance that comes in about 2005. Once we get above those, I should say, if we get above those, that's when I'm going to feel a little bit more confident about, hey, maybe we should be very careful with, being long equities. I sold some Dow yesterday, right around a little higher, probably about 70 or 80 points higher than where we're at. I sold some yesterday, and it's more of a tracker for me. But the thing I wanted to, yesterday we hit new highs and then reversed. So today we've, basically matched those highs and reversed. So I'm going to be watching the Dow. Should we start breaking into multi, day lows and new weekly lows? That's kind of one of those assets that I'm keeping a real close eye on, because this is, let's go over to the daily chart here. Actually, you know what? We can do it this way. I'm going to get rid of this for a second. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So if you look on this weekly chart, okay, the Dow's obviously come a long way, but what I'd like to see by the end of the week, and if it doesn't happen tomorrow, then I'm just going to get out of it. It's already signaling a potential false breakout, but if we close on our lows of the Dow for the week, and let's just say, today we're at 31,300. So let's just imagine we close 200 points or lower from here. What that's going to be is twofold. It will be a pin bar, or actually gravestone doji, which is bearish, a false breakout, which is also bearish. So then I'm gonna probably stick with the trade. If it closes higher than where we're at now, or somewhere in these levels, I'm just going to close it. Even though I think the risk of a false breakout is still high, but if we, like I said, if we close around here, yeah, probably won't keep it. We have to. I'd love to see this candle turn red by tomorrow. And we're not far from the lows of the week. Okay. Catherine, hey, she said, hey, I'd like your opinion on crude if you have time. I have time for you. I always have time for you, Catherine. Give me 1 second. Right here. Let's go over to the daily charts. So, crude, well, couple things. First of all, AB equals CD. $59 is, as long as we stay below $59, I don't know if I'd want to be long. Not after having, 2 weeks of straight up. I don't think so. That doesn't make me bearish. Like I want to, I actually am more bullish the dollar Canadian right now because of this, but it doesn't mean that I'm bearish crude, if that makes any sense. But what I was looking at this morning is just this horizontal support here, 4 hour, we start breaking through that, then you probably have a little bit of an issue, because then you're now hitting multi 3-day lows or whatever. Then it starts to, maybe signal there's something bigger brewing, not in just crude, but, in other markets. All right. So, guys, that's it for today. I wish there was something more, but I think we have some potential setups brewing, guys, especially going to the end of the week. As I was saying in the chat room, it's quiet until it's not. We came in this morning and we were all sleeping basically at the wheel, and then things started to pick up, and it's just kind of like macro data. It doesn't matter till it does, or who cares if it's overbought? No one cares until they do. And when they do, sentiment changes, whether it's, it's volatility picking up, or, a switch on, switch off hits. It's hard to switch back. Okay. So just keep an eye on the markets around here. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I'm sorry. Somebody had asked a question. I just need to make sure let me see. Hold on. The question, Alexander said, I arrived a little late. Did you comment on the dollar yen? No. If not, can you please? Are you still here, Alexander? Okay, here. Yeah, let me just get it real quick, and then we'll go. Dollar yen. I haven't, by the way. I yesterday, or is it 2 days ago, we had this false breakdown below the 50% retracement. I think that this pink trend line, that's a multi-month trend line. I think while we're above it, you don't want to be on the short side. So, while we're above 104, 20, I think I wrote down 104.25 today. Yeah, 104.25. You can see it right here. Okay. I would be a buyer down there. I wouldn't want to be short. And I think we get a chance to move back up to 105.25. But I have like really no feeling about the dollar yen right now. I wish I had a better, oh shoot, you can't even see it. Okay, sorry. I thought the chart was going. Okay, so again, I'll point it out. 104, this big pink magenta trend line. So it's 104.25, basically is a 618. I think this is your box. This is the sandbox we're trading in, right? So it looks something like this. And I wouldn't want to be short. I'm not exactly enticed about being long right now either, because I'm worried that if risk assets come down, how's the yen going to take it? But for right now, I think this is the box we're in. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, have a great one. And let me just see here. You're welcome. All right. BJ, you can send me an email at bmorrow@forexanalytix.com. bmorrow@forexanalytix.com. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.